Well, one-on-one with Bobby Patel, running a very successful business in Bradford as a restaurateur, but it didn't begin like that. You know, you were talking earlier about your father valuing education. You went to Full Neck, and then you went off to De Montfort University to study business studies. Now, in your head at that time, at 18, 19, 20, 21, did you think you were going to be a restaurateur?
No, I thought I would certainly had the aspiration of running my own business. I think that was quite a heavy influence by the way my family had achieved in their life. So there was always going to be a connection to a family business, whether that was going to be restauranting or whether that was going to be whatever that came my way or an entrepreneurial idea came, I would pursue. The reason it became a restaurant was really down to the fact that as my experiences in the corporate world were, you know, I was enjoying sales life, I was working I had a really, really good job. But I could see Prashad was now starting to sort of lose its way. My parents were getting a little older, and it was kind of time. You know, there came a point when it was and because Prashad was our family business, our identity, you know, I really wanted to come in and start trying to make a difference and apply my knowledge.
Were you daunted by it? Because it was very much a family business, and your parents had a very strong hold on that.
Yeah.
And they had for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And then up comes you with a shiny face, and your degree under your arm.
We're going to do kebabs.
Yeah,
right.
And they went, what? Did they go, what? Oh,
yeah,
no.
Of course. I mean, you know, to be fair, it took 3 attempts. And that was possibly down to me maybe desiring to be involved in the business, but maybe not necessarily ready, still having one foot in London and one foot in Bradford, and then going on from there. The second time it was very much about my parents still having their identity and their work ethics and what they were doing, and it really there's a timing issue. You know, you got to get it right. On the third attempt, and I mean that attempt as in, you know, every time my life sort of came to a crossroad, Prashad would always be something I was being drawn towards. I'm not sure if that was because of the family elements and, you know, being around my parents and the caring nature and the typical traditional Indian world that I come from, or whether it was, you know, very much that I saw Prashad everywhere I used to go, even my younger brother or my sister, everywhere we went. We weren't known by Bobby or Hina or Mayur. We were known as, oh, your mum's, oh, Prashad, your mum did, your, it was always Prashad wherever we went. And for a small business to have that type of, you know, we would get that emotion after they've had the food weeks on and they've seen us, and you can see the energy in their voice and in their comments. It just made it so, you know, it made me believe that, you know, we've got something here that we really, really, really would like to take on.
Your next choice of music is Soul to Soul.
Yeah,
Back to Life. Why this?
Yeah. Again, just the. I mean, you know, it's just the music. I think, you know, it's the old school.
You love that, don't you?
Yeah.
Back to Life, Soul to Soul. You're one-on-one with an award-winning restaurateur, also featured on Gordon Ramsay's Best Restaurant competition. It's Prashad in Bradford, and it's Bobby Patel who is here. You had an arranged marriage.
Introduced.
Okay, is there a difference?
Absolutely,
because you only knew your bride 3 days, didn't you, before you married?
Yeah, I think the difference between arranged and introduced is probably just in the detail. But essentially, you know, it was something I decided that I wanted to do because I wanted to sort of go for a new way, look at a new challenge. I was at a stage in my life where I wanted to settle down. So I thought, well, you know, I guess it's also a little bit of subliminal advice, which Mum probably had been drilling in from the age of 2. So I thought, you know, well, let's go to India and let's see if I will meet my soulmate.
So there wasn't then any conflict of being a young man, you'd been in London, you got your degree, you'd had a very westernised upbringing, even though the family and your faith and that community are very important to you. Mm-hmm. But that's a huge stretch to go from that life to saying hello to a girl and in 3 days being married to her.
Yeah.
It never sit oddly with you. Clearly, you love her. I'm not. But, you know, it's a tough call, is that?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, some of the things I had to just believe in it. You know, I had to believe in the faith. I was ready. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a right or wrong way. It really depends on you as an individual and where you are at that time in your life. And for me, I was looking for a way. I was looking for something that kind of moved me on a little bit. And
couldn't you just have met a nice Indian girl? There are enough of them in Bradford.
Yeah, no,
there are enough of them everywhere. Could you not
I think so. I mean, you know, it was kind of, it didn't go to India with the definition definite idea that this was going to happen. So it was an option, you know. And whilst we was in India, I met Minal, and the comfort feeling that I got, and the proof's in the pudding. You know, I think a lot of the time as well around the sort of security of marriage and the institution of marriage, it worked for us because we actually got to know each other in marriage. So the commitment was there from the beginning. And when you talk about the conflict, you know, 1 or 2 years in, I would say that I was struggling with this sort of adjustment, but so was Minal. You know, Minal had left her country, she'd left her friends, she'd left her community, and she'd come to England to live with her husband and in a home with their parents, his parents. So, you know, massive changes in life for both of us, but it's made us who we are today, you know, and I'm so happy. I'm usually the guy that makes the wrong decision, you know, or generally gets it wrong, but, you know, on this occasion I got it very, very right.
You did, because you're going to be a daddy.
I'm going to be a daddy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Is that in April?
You. That's in April.
Not long then.
No, not long. We've had our first scan, and that was one of the best moments of my life, you know, just to sort of see the little baby jumping up and down and moving inside, and it kind of, yeah, I can't wait.
Your one-on-one, Bobby Patel, is here. Let's hear a fantastic song. This is Patel and China in Your Hand. Why did you want to hear this?
It's just a very powerful, you know, very clear, very deep, and it touches me inside. I don't know how to describe why, but I just love it.
We're listening to the story of Bobby Patel, about to be a dad come April.
Absolutely.
It'll all change then, you know. You're going to go back. The Prashad restaurant in Bradford, you've got a AA rosette, Bradford's
yes.
only.
Mm-hmm.
You've won multi-awards, you've been on with Gordon Ramsay, and you're expanding. So what does the future hold for this business?
Sure. The future actually is quite controlled. You know, we're very, very careful about how we take the direction, and we don't really want to lose the family elements. We want to make sure that we understand exactly what Prashad's about, and we don't want to lose that. Minal, who's the sort of powerhouse in the kitchen now, she's the one who's...
This is your wife?
This is my wife. You know, she's her dreams and aspirations are a long term into the future, looking at towards a Michelin star, but way down the line, you know, there's a whole journey to be had. As a businessman, I could tell you that, you know, our restaurant is going to expand to one site. We'll never be more than one site as a restaurant, and that's going to move to be just slightly bigger than we are now. So we're not looking at hundreds of seats. We're actually looking at a restaurant of about 50 seats. So just allowing us to sort of add...
Why so small in the ambition?
It's not really the ambition itself is huge, but the restaurant element of our ambitions, we know that restauranting is about passion, it's about closeness, it's about atmosphere, it's about quality.
It's about bums on seats, though.
It's about bums on seats, but it's also about managing those bums on seats and getting a fantastic experience. If you expand it out too big, you can't really hold on to the niceness. It becomes a business, and then it's bums on seats,
right.
And then it's profit, and then it's how quick are you turning tables. And we don't want that.
Does it ever worry you, the momentum of the television exposure and the awards, that somehow that might slow down whilst you're building towards this process? Then that won't be anything you haven't done, or not be a reflection of the quality of what you've achieved. But somehow, you know, to follow in the wake of that momentum is key here,
absolutely,
isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when you talk about the expansion, Prashad restaurant will only be one site. Baby Prashad, which is a birth child of my younger brother Mayu, and that's much more street side, that's much more fresh, that's much more wraps, that's much more city centre. That's a scalable business, and he's developing that business to be in Manchester next year, and then maybe another site and another site and another site, and that's his baby. So the aspirations of Prashad and the family and the business growth is much bigger, but in terms of the core values of what we do in Prashad restaurants, that is very much contained.
You are an extended family, and today is Diwali, so you've taken time out from that.
Yeah.
It's the first time, actually, you've not all been working, isn't it?
Yes, it's absolutely
that you
the first
felt, no,
time.
we're going to... So I've taken you away from your family for an hour. And you live as an extended family? You live with your parents?
We live together, yes.
You do?
There's 4 of us. There's myself, my wife, my dad, my mum.
And that work all right?
It works good. It works really good. You know, I mean, we're a very busy family anyway because we have a restaurant. So, you know, in terms of the time we actually spend together, we're closed on a Monday. We spend majority of the day relaxing relaxing out, eating out, enjoying each other's company on a Monday. Other than that, we're kind of fleeting past each other, you know, and we catch each other possibly at breakfast, definitely try and catch each other at lunch. And other than that, we're all busy. My younger brother lives in Manchester. My sister, Hina, lives in Chicago. You know, and we just love it. I mean, yesterday evening, everybody sort of came. We were all at the restaurant at the same time, which is rare, and everybody was eating out of the same plate and having a laugh and a joke in the restaurant. Was, you know, and it was, and I kind of stopped. You know, have those magical moments when you think, wow, and that was one of them yesterday. I was just like, this is it. This is what it's about.
Who's cooking tonight?
Tonight, Minal's cooking.
And a big celebration dinner for Diwali?
Absolutely, yeah. Diwali itself is, I don't really know what we're having. I know it'll just be a huge table full.
You just rock up and eat it.
I just eat,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Good luck with the future.
Thank you very
much.
much.
And a great ambassador for Bradford.
Thank you.
And it's been lovely to meet you, Bobby Patel. Your
It's been a real
final
pleasure.
choice of music. MC Hammer, can't touch this.
Oh, yeah.
Why
yeah.
this?
Again, upbeat. You know, I definitely don't dress like that, but at the time, it was a real sort of change. You know, everybody paid attention, and that's what I like.